welcome to another edition of ITV Sport Classics and to a classic fight. This one between the undisputed world middleweight champion, marvellous Marvin Hagler, and the challenger, Juan Domingo Roldan. Hagler was the undoubted favourite for this one at 6-1, and he was to earn a cool $1.3 million for his efforts. Roldan, by contrast, earned $100,000. But the action proved a lot closer than the wages. The commentator back in March 1984 at the Riviera Hotel in Las Vegas is Jim Rosenthal.
Away we go for the first round, and there is a strong feeling here. This one could go quickly. Roldan has knocked out 10 in the first round, and there's a slip from Hagler, and he's down very quickly. And taking a standing count, and none too pleased, because he must have felt it was a slip in the opening seconds. What drama. Hagler has said, I've got the brains, he's got the brawn. He could go in the first, but it's Hagler who's been down. But surely, just a slip, but he did receive a standing count. And that will encourage Juan the Hammer Roldan from the Argentine. The man who only knows one way to fight, and that's to come forward and throw big right hands. Marvin Hagler is a 6-1 on favourite to retain his undisputed titles. If you put money on the Roldan in this part of the world, the bookmakers looked at you very closely, but he started really well and has tagged Hagler a couple of times. A little smile from Hagler there, as if to say that one didn't hurt. A lot of South American support here in the convention centre in Las Vegas. He's greatly encouraged by the start that the rank outsider has made. Roldan is tough and durable. He's been a more effective fighter in this opening round. Hagler, who boasted of finishing things early, is having to take stock of the situation. And Roldan, who's been very confident in the weigh-in, but very calm when he came into the ring, settled in very quickly when he first got the title, got through with a good right hand to the body. And although a lot of that stuff is wild from Roldan, he might well have done enough to take this opening round, but Hagler got in two good shots there. What a start to the fight for the WBC and WBA middleweight titles in Las Vegas. There have been hurricanes around here these past couple of days. My plane nearly blown off the runway when I landed here. And it's Roldan who has started like a comet. Well, there's warm applause for Roldan, and Hagler sitting down just above us and probably saying, that was ridiculous, they counted me there, it was just a slip. The Petronelli brothers looking after Marvin Hagler, as they have done ever since he came to the gym. And let's just, as a boy, let's just have a little look at that. Well, it was a left hand, and it just looked to me as though his legs went from under him. There could have been a bit of water down there on the canvas. Just clipped him on the back of the head and down he went, but enough to encourage the challenger. Well, what will this second round provide after that sensational opening? Marvin Hagler striving for recognition and striving for the boxing public to like him and the boxing press to recognize his greatness. He had that points decision here over Roberto Duran, where Duran, the old warhorse, really got all the headlines and the acclaim, and that just served to annoy Hagler again. A little wink from him there, but Roldan is coming in, throwing those big bombs and At the moment, Hagler has not been able to get into gear, hasn't been able to use the variety of punching, his ring skills that have made him such a good champion. Well, I know there was quite a lot of money on this fight finishing in the first round, and those punters here in the convention centre have done their cash. Roldan has been saying to anyone who will listen, Hagler's been a great champion, but his time has come. Clubbing him on the back of the head there as Hagler got in a bit of a tangle. That is a good big right hand. But Roldan's throwing there. The referee, Tony Perez, getting between them. Those people who said that Roldan might be a bit of a handful have thus far been proved right. He's a very fit man, Roldan, but throwing and missing with those sort of punches, well, they won't help him go 15 rounds. He's never been that in his life, and I don't think anybody here expects this to go 15 rounds. And a good right hand from Roldan again. Hagler. What a good punch that's been early in this fight. And what a good fight too, but Hagler, who says he's got the skills, showing it there. But Roldan has never pretended he won't get hit. He just feels he's got the armory to do more damage than Hagler. What a good fight so far. Marvin Hagler comes a trifle slowly back to his corner. I would think that's that right hand, and what a good punch it was, and it shows that Hagler's got a good chin, and it shows why he's never been knocked down as a professional. Round 3, and those who said it's going to be a walkover for Hagler are looking a trifle embarrassed at the moment. But surely the champion has yet to show his best. Tends to wear opponents down. I think this was the thing that was slightly wrong about the pre-fight stuff. Hagler has been a wearer down of opponents rather than an explosive first-round puncher. Although he did finish a fight very early after 67 seconds against Caveman Lee, one of his defenses, and that was one of the quickest stoppages ever. Southpaw lead from Hagler, wearing the maroon trunks that he's worn just about every time he's fought as a professional. Such a good punch. Roldan, though, looks happy to take those and gamble on getting home with that big right hand, the hammer, as he calls it. And in fact, he's angered Marvin Hagler by wearing a T-shirt with a hammer, hitting someone, supposedly Hagler, on the head. And Hagler's none too pleased about that T-shirt, said it was racist, and said that Roldan would pay for it. Well, so far, Roldan hasn't, but he stopped a good right hand there, and that stopped him dead in his tracks. That was a good punch. And Roldan takes a deep breath. And Hagler just stepping up the quality of his work a bit, but Roldan, well, that right hand could cause a sensation here if he keeps throwing it, because no one, not even somebody with as strong a chin as Hagler, can take too many of those. But he's seen a lot of it before, Marvin Hagler, and might be thinking, I might just have to bide my time here a bit. I won't get the quick stoppage that I'd hoped for. Well, he throws that right hand from way down the strip here in Las Vegas, does Roldan, but it's a potent weapon when it lands. But he's hurt. Hagler's hurt him in round 3, and he's lying back on the ropes, and he was definitely hurt there. And taking a standing count. Oh, he is hurt. Will Hagler finish it here in the 3rd? A sudden reversal. And that bell coming just right for Roldan, who took a standing count. And manager Tito Lectore, who looked after the great Carlos Monzon, is now having to work very hard to revive the Argentine challenger. A sudden reversal. And it was that right hand that really hurt him. And, well, I suppose you better call him merciful Marvin Hagler there, because a lot of fighters might have followed through there. Might just have got a little thumb in the eye.
World middleweight title fight between the undisputed champion, marvellous Marvin Hagler, and challenger Juan Domingo Roldan. The fight already tinged with controversy after Roldan accused Hagler of using his thumb in the 3rd. Jim Rosenthal picks up the action.
Round 5. And Hagler, with that very efficient work over the last couple of rounds or so, has silenced the crowd who were really vociferously behind Roldan early on. Now, they do let things go on longer in this part of the world. And it's obviously a world title fight, but really, you've got to wonder how long Roldan, who has got a swelling the size of a table tennis ball now almost underneath his right eye, is going to be allowed to continue. He's a great combination puncher, Hagler. Never loses composure, even when he slipped down in the 1st. His wits were about him completely. He's hurting Roldan all the time now. It's almost punch-bag time out there for Hagler. Oh. Well, Roldan is as big-hearted and brave and tough as they come. But surely he's never suffered inside a ring as he's suffering now. The hammer is getting the right hammering. Well, a lumbering, almost amateurish right hand from Roldan. Hagler quickly inside it and quickly making his opponent suffer, as he said he would. One stage last year, after he beat Scythian, Hagler was talking about retirement because he said he couldn't find opponents of sufficient caliber. And Roldan's eye, just seeing it there, I mean, it is getting really grotesque out there. And he's getting a real pasting. And there are shouts from behind me to stop it. Those little hurting punches that don't travel far but sting and score points as we approach the end of round 5. And the referee was in there very quickly, and it can't be long before the doctor's called to have a look at that eye to see it. Roldan really suffering, and well, it's like a stroll down the strip really for Marvin Hagler. fight goes on. Round 6. Well, no one can question Roldan's heart, but at times he looks out of place in with marvellous Marvin Hagler, who is scoring with so many punches to that face of Roldan that it's almost hurtful to watch. Those little slicing punches. Hagler always working. And that's what he's being urged to do by the Petronelli brothers away to my right, and Hagler took a low blow there by the look of it from Roldan, but didn't flinch. Roldan's right eye. It's got a terrible swelling underneath it, and surely he can't see anything out of that. He's done well to last this far. Hagler taking things possibly a little quieter in this round, and you can be sure that Roldan is happy about that, but he's got time just to step things up now as Roldan peers at him through that damaged right eye. Last 30 seconds then of round 6. Marvin Hagler outside the ring, as a gentle family man who loves kids. A totally different man inside. Destruct and destroy is his motto. And Juan Roldan is very slowly getting destroyed here in Las Vegas. There's not much you can do with an injury like that. It's over 15 rounds this, because the WBA, the World Boxing Association, are controlling things here. But really, when you look at that injury and the pattern of the fight, it's surely unlikely that we're going to get into double figures. We're into the 9th then. Back home in Britain, I don't think the fight would have been allowed to go this far. Roldan is still strong and willing though. It's just that damage around the right side of his face, that swelling beneath the right eye, and the eye totally closed, is a terrible burden to him. I suppose we might be seeing why Hagler isn't universally accepted as an all-time great, and why he isn't loved here, because he's really had Roldan going for some time now. He's hurt him, he's humiliated him, he's damaged him, but he hasn't put him away. Really the perfect build for a middleweight, Hagler, like a sawn-off heavyweight. Great physique. Always crowds his opponent, makes it so hard for him to do anything effective. Crowds them, peppers them with punches. Difficult to know how to beat him. There's a theory that you've got to go at him and back him off, but look at the volume of punches he's throwing there. Talking to Sugar Ray Leonard before this fight, and he said, you've got to mix things up, you have to attack him and then back off. Well, you've got to be a fighter of Leonard's caliber to be able to mix up your work like that, and Roldan, well, he's not that. And it doesn't take me to tell you that either. Roldan looking almost spent, despite the crowd willing him through these painful moments in round 9. He's blowing very heavily now. I think he's sopped a good left hand.
Meteorites are different from the rocks on Earth that have been processed and altered by volcanic activity.